Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video that I came across. This man was actually talking about how palm colored people always are like very quick to trigger or to gaslight black people, especially when black people want to talk about racism, Jim Crow, and all that incarceration, drugs were like planted into black community and all that. They are always so quick to tell you that Jim Crow has been years back. You all should get over it and all that. But I keep asking, why would you be? They always ask, how will I be responsible for what my ancestors did? The truth is that some of you are still enjoying that generational wealth that your ancestors made through black people to this very moment. But then they are always very quick to say, it's been years ago, get over it, start talking about it, because when you start talking about it, it's going to go away. Number one is that a point of correction, there is nothing going away, because since we've been talking about it, or since we start talking about it, it is still happening to this very moment. Now, if you all look around, you see how white people are kind of trying to fearmonger black people from not voting this year. And I want to let you all know that if you all decided not to vote, like, it is going to be very bad for us, because number one is that we do not have any ally, right? We are everything we have. So we have to do all we have, or all we have to do to make sure we are at the top. Let's get into this.
As white people in America, we've been conditioned for the longest time to say things like, I didn't own any slaves. Why should I be responsible for my ancestors? Jim Crow, that was over 50 years ago. It was so long ago. It's 2024. Name one racist law in the United States of America. And this is what I saw that opened my eyes. What were some attributes of Jim Crow segregation? Black people in America face second-class citizenship, right? Disenfranchisement from voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, barriers to housing. Then in 1964, we passed the Civil Rights Act. In 1965, we passed the Voting Rights Act, which says that we can no longer discriminate based on race. And voila, just like that, magically, the United States of America is no longer racist. The slate was wiped clean, right? In 2024, what group of people are we legally allowed to discriminate against in the United States of America? If you answer convicted felons, you are absolutely right. We're allowed to disenfranchise from voting. We're allowed to create barriers to housing, jobs, and education. Now, do you think it's a coincidence that 1 in 3 black males, as opposed to 1 in 6 Latin or Hispanic males and 1 in 17 white males, are convicted felons? Now, there have been some more recent reports that say those rates for black males are dropping, but it's still 1,807 black men per 100,000 were held in state or federal prisons in the United States during 2021. That does not include people being held in county jails. That number's 327 out of every 100,000 white males and 810 out of every 100,000 Hispanic males. And here is a chart showing the 700% increase in our prison population since the end of the 1960s, early 1970s, which was the Civil Rights Movement and the passing of the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act. Just look at that increase in the prison population. You see, in the age of colorblindness, when we're no longer allowed to be explicitly racist, racism evolved structurally, and our criminal justice system became the epicenter of systemic racism. And rather than seeing this as a problem, the majority of white people will say, just don't commit crime, accept personal accountability for your actions. It's the culture, it's the rap music, it's the fatherless homes. It's everything else in the world except systemic racism. So I had to begin asking myself some tough questions. Do I believe that black people are just inherently evil? Do I believe that they have the proclivity to commit more crime than white people? Or is there something much larger and nefarious at play that is systematically targeting certain demographics of people in this country? Well, what took place since the Civil Rights Movement? We had the war on drugs in the 80s with Ronald Reagan putting crack cocaine into the black and Hispanic communities. We had the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which differentiated between rock cocaine and powder cocaine, which we know disproportionately impacted the black community. We also had the 94 crime bill. And the irony in that is that most conservatives, most Republicans will deny that systemic racism exists. Then when you point out the criminal justice system and mass incarceration in the United States, well, they'll be like, well, Joe Biden created the 94 crime bill. Wait a second, I thought you said it didn't exist. People love to cite that 13% of the population make up 50% of the violent crime in this country. But they always fail to acknowledge that 13% of the population make up nearly 60% of the exonerations in this country. They're 7 times more likely to be wrongly convicted. 13% of the population makes up 31% of these school-related arrests, 3 times more likely than a white student to be suspended from school. And you know where I learned all this information from? Black women, black authors, and black content creators. And black women are the most disrespected and stigmatized group of people in this country. And as my friend Consciously always says, education is elevation. Wake up.
If y'all want to gentrify that word progressive, you motherfuckers can have it. I have no problem being labeled as a black voter, and I will stay within the confines of my community because I already understand that the word progressive also comes with that word prejudice. And the reason why I say that is as soon as black people don't do what is expected of us, you guys start calling us names and start perpetuating the most prejudiced and stereotypical tropes and white supremacist talking points that I see from the left and I see from the right. But all I see is white. Y'all quick to start calling us low information voters. Black people don't know what's best for them. While y'all continuously tell black people what we gotta do, while you continuously play in our face and tell us what you're not going to do. I have never in my 30 years of living ever seen the black community ever tell a marginalized group to give away their right to vote, the only ability that they have to make real effective change. And anytime I'm doing my videos, I am never telling Arab Americans, Jewish Americans, or any other marginalized group what the hell they need to do. I'm only talking to my people because we understand that when shit hits the fan, we are going to bear the brunt of all of it. And every ally that says that they're for black people will absolutely do nothing. They will have no system set in place for us when shit hit the motherfucking fan. When we lose our rights, when we lose our health care, when we lose everything that's keeping us floating. Because at the end of the day, black lives are at the bottom when it comes to lives that fucking matter. Which is why I keep telling y'all, I am fucking voting. Which is why I'm advocating for every black person to vote. Because here's the situation. Y'all talking about, oh, the short-term pain for a long-term goal. Bitches ain't no short-time nothing. Y'all know damn well why the hell do black people have to bear the front? I think the problem is y'all are so used to fucking that damn crazy-ass Hollywood telling y'all that black people are your mammies. Black people are your slaves. Black people will sacrifice themselves for everybody else. No more, bitch. We on the front lines of every motherfucking movement for every goddamn body. But when we ask y'all to do the just bare minimum to motherfucking vote for Democrats so we can get a majority in the House, a majority in the motherfucking Senate, so we can overcome a fucking filibuster, give it to the brand president to sign, we would have been had police reform. We would have been had all these other motherfucking bills passed. But it's interesting enough. Y'all want to talk about how black people are the low information voters. We don't know what's better for us, but yet we're always on the right side of history and y'all are always on the wrong one. Ralph Nader, Jill Stein, all this shit could have easily been prevented, but no! Y'all never want to listen to black people because we're so uneducated, which is why I keep saying, as soon as black people don't do what y'all asked us to do, all of a sudden y'all start lashing out and calling us names. But look at your motherfucking voting record. Look at motherfucking history. Who's been on the right side and who's been on the wrong side? Let's do a motherfucking damn tally. Who's been on the wrong side and who's been on the right side? And I'll just drop the mic with this because we're so low information voters and don't understand how government works. Why is it that so many white creators are sitting here talking about, well, under a Biden presidency is the reason why we lost our women's reproductive rights? Y'all don't understand government. Who's the motherfucker who put those Supreme Court justices on the bench, who overturned Roe v. Wade and also overturned affirmative action? Was it Biden's Supreme Court justices or was it Trump appointed Supreme Court justices? Y'all are dumb as fuck, but yet y'all want to talk about how we are low information voters. We're sick of this shit. Stop playing in our motherfucking face. Stop telling us what to damn do. Stop telling us not to motherfucking vote. Anybody telling black people not to vote has malicious intent. I want y'all to keep this video bookmarked. Come back to it in 2020.
So Alfie here claims that as a Scottish person, he's suffered racism in London. Alfie's comment sparked quite some reactions in my comment section. And I have to admit that the statistics actually support this claim. The data shows that in 2022, Scottish people were 2.4 more likely to be arrested and 8.4 times more likely to be stopped and searched than white people, despite the fact that they were the least likely to be found in breach of the law. A 2020 study has found that 2/3 of Scottish NHS patients had experienced racial prejudice from healthcare professionals because of their Scottish skin colour. Scottish women are 3.7 times more likely to die during or in the first year after pregnancy than white women, even when accounting for income difference. Scottish-skinned people are 2.5 more likely to be unemployed in England. And the United Nations report published last year warns the United Kingdom that, I quote, people of Scottish descent in the country continue to encounter discrimination and erosion of their fundamental rights, end of quote. So Alfie is right. As a Scottish person... Hang on. Did I say Scottish? I meant black people, not Scottish people. What a confusion, man. Silly me. Now I'm going to give some grace to Alfie and say that it's normal for Alfie to mistake discrimination for racism. Because how could Alfie possibly know what racism is? Look, for instance, if I saw this animal on the streets of London and somebody told me that this is an armadillo, I'd be like, all right, I guess I've just seen an armadillo on the streets of London. I'd be calling my mum, telling her, you won't believe what animal I just saw in London. A fucking armadillo. But do you know what the twist is? This isn't an armadillo. That's a pangolin. Because this is what an armadillo actually looks like. They are actually two completely different animals. The pangolin is genetically more closely related to a cat than to an armadillo. But how on earth would I know? I've never seen either of those animals. They're not something that I have experienced. So you can't expect me to correctly identify one. And for the same reason, I don't expect Alfie to correctly identify racism. But you know what the slight difference between me and Alfie is, though? I don't typically go to pangolin TikTok or armadillogram to tell armadillo specialists that they're wrong. I don't do that. Or you can check those pages and comment sections. I promise you that you will not find me there attempting to lecture anyone. So Alfie, here's the lesson I truly hope you take away from this. In a conversation about racism, be a little bit more like me in conversations about pangolins. Yeah?
So this is all I got from the series, and I really love it. I love how he passed his message a lot. I don't know, but whichever one I love. And the reality is that black people are no longer, they say black women, just like they say, we are always going to save democracy and all that. But sincerely speaking, it's never going to happen anymore. Like, whatever happened, if there is anything going on, we are all going to be in it, We're going to be in that mess, like, forever. How black women will not let, or black people will not let, they are very caring, they are very sweet, they will not let us suffer, they are always saving this, they are always there to make sure everybody's okay and all that. It is not happening anymore. So I am also like the young man actually came out to say that he is urging people to come out to vote, because in the end it is us that will go through some certain things, and we also need to save ourselves and all that, right? I love us. I love how we've been holding it down and still doing amazingly great and all that. And number one is that, let me tell us this, and like he said, the black young man that has, I think, Red Durag said that, all these allies are just going to come out to speak, talk and all that. But the truth is that we do not have any allies. It's something we really need to know, and the moment they say something and black people end up not doing it, you all are the bad people and all that and all, but the truth is that we know what is best for us. We know what we want. We know how we want to do it. You all do not have any right to tell us what we are going to do, how we are supposed to do it and all that. It's just amazing how all of them come out to say that black people, when they try to fearmonger you and all that, and they tell black people, you do not have to vote. There is no need for you people coming out to vote. So if we do not vote, what is going to happen? Are you guys going to save us, like when something something happens and all that? We have to be our best allies, because we do not trust anybody anymore. People are going to tell you that we are with you, but they are not with us and all that. So yeah, we have to do us, uphold us, love ourselves. So we are not going to lose everything that is holding us up and all that. And when they talk about Jim Crow, slavery, just like the first Dennis talked, he was like, each time they try to talk about it, slavery and all that, or Jim Crow and the rest of it, they still try to tell you that it's been years and all that. I do not owe any slave. I mean, how do you want me to pay for something that I know nothing about and all that? But the fact that some of them refuse to understand the meaning of reparation, where there is need for them to fix what like the things they did to Black people and all that. Black people face second-class citizenship when it comes to Jim Crow and all that, in housing, redlining, and so many of them, right? And they still have the guts, every time to tell us that there is nothing, like, why do we have to pay? Somewhere like, I was not even around, I was not even born during that period. But the things that the ancestors built, you all are still enjoying every one of it. And still to this very moment, discriminating against people that look like me. And then wake up to tell me that you were not the one that did it and all that. I really hope that you all get the awakening that you all are looking for, because you all are, some of them are far away from having that, So when it comes to incarceration and all that, it is still Black people that, it's just really sad that Black people are always at the receiving end. Yes, it's when it comes to Black people, there is nothing like mercy, It's always like crucify them, crucify, that kind of energy. You see that kind of energy from them. It's just like how you made a cup and all that, and the energy you get from them is like, I'm a deal with you kind of energy and all. That's why Black people, when they have an encounter, you see the fear and all. Do I blame them? I do not blame them. Yeah, so like the guy in Durack said, we really have to come out, because we do not believe in anybody. There is nothing like anybody coming to save us. We have to be the ones saving ourselves. Now, if they wake up to say, you do not have to vote, because like, we are going to vote. We are going to choose whom to vote for. And we are going to do the needful. So we would have to, and you all also have to do the needful, because you all are waiting for Black people to say democracy. We are not saving anything this time around. You mess around, we stay in that mess as long as it's gonna last. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.